I hate Christmas. I hate my birthday. I hate Thanksgiving. Easter sucks. Festivals are terrible. I hate any day that requires you to act differently than you normally would on a regular day basis. And I say that because today I'm 21, and you only get one 21st birthday for the entire time that you're alive. And that's a lot of pressure added to a person who is just trying to live their normal life and live in their normal routine. And I wouldn't say that my life is normal at all. I've done some crazy things. And chances are you've never seen my face before. And that's okay. I made a video about this last year when I was 20, how I escaped the matrix and started a company and made a bunch of money online. And there's people in my life now that make hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. And I make, I don't know, 6,000, 7,000, and I travel the country for free essentially. And I have really cool experiences. And I wouldn't say I live a normal life. I published 4 books to Amazon and done a bunch of stuff. Made $70,000 online. But the point that I'm trying to make with today's video, number one, I'm going to do 21 lessons that I've learned inside of being 21. Those are going to be insane. But before we get to that part, is the fact that I have all this pressure built up on being 21, and then people would say, if I screw it up, if I screw up the day that I am 21 and I don't actually do anything with my time, then that's my fault. I'm the person who ruined it. And I get it. Like, seriously, you guys go home and live your life. It's my life that I'm going to end up living and telling the story of. And the part is that I'm not here to complain. I don't complain on videos. I don't complain in life. I have nothing to complain about. I'm insanely grateful for everything I have. What I'm saying is I would actually like to have something that is so crazy and stupid that I could use to remember this day by, to have it locked in my brain forever. My student texted me and said, do something so stupid that you will remember it forever. And I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of pressure to add to me. Like, seriously. But I don't know what it would be. I asked him, like, do you have any ideas? And he's like, go skydiving. But I live in the middle of upstate New York where there's no opportunity anywhere. And I've lived in Florida and Savannah, Georgia, and I'm moving to Scottsdale in a week. I don't think that my life is falling apart by any means. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying for today. Today while I'm alive. I woke up, went to the gym at 5 a.m., came here, napped for 4 hours, made $300, called it a day. And now I'm making this video because I got that text from my friend, my student actually, and it kind of like made me realize that I should be doing something with my day. And the whole idea of the shoulds in the woods hurt. They add pressure, and it freaks me out because I know that in some weird land, I probably should be doing something today. And if I die one day and God's sitting there, he's like, what did you do on your 21st birthday? And I'm like, well, you know, I made $300 and made a video and that was it. That would kind of be sad. I don't really measure out life by days. I measure it out by accomplishments and things that you actually live for. And 21 is a pretty big accomplishment. I never thought I would make it this far, to be honest. I never thought that I would be able to feel what it meant to be 21. If I've seen anybody that's under 21 watching this video, I think you know what I mean. Like 21 is, you've passed your teens. You're out of it. You're done with that. You're moved into real life now. And I've dropped out of college 3 times, and the next thing is 22, and then pretty soon it's going to be 25, and then it's going to be 30. And it sounds like, oh, you got time, Alex. Relax, you have time. I remember I was in Algebra 1 in high school, and I told this girl, hey, you want to be my prom date? In 6th grade. And she was like, that's 5 years from now. What are you talking about? Calm down. Prom was 3 years ago now. Maybe 4 years ago. So, like, my life is flown by, and your life's going to fly by, and this pressure added to a singular day hurts. But let's move on from that because I think I've gotten over the feelings of that. Let's talk about the 21 things that I've learned in 21 years of being alive. These are the things that you want to stick around for, folks. Never heard before on the internet. Broken down by yours truly, Alex Davis. Number 1, read self-help books. I have read 150 self-help books before I was a broken little boy. I didn't have any confidence. I relied on Jeremy Minor and a bunch of other... Jeremy Fragrance, not Jeremy Minor. He comes later in the life. But Jeremy Fragrance and Alpha M to train me on how to be a man. Read books, get fit, all that kind of stuff. I didn't realize that there was a world out there that I could utilize to control my environment, my influences, the inputs, my associations, where I could actually have influence over what I was and who I became. I didn't even think about it. I just thought, I'm going to bump through life. Things are going to happen. One day I'm going to meet a girl. I'm going to marry the girl. I'm going to get a house. I'm going to have a job. The job's going to pay me around $100,000 to $120,000 a year. I'm going to get a retirement, and then I'm going to die. And that sounded so boring to me. And I never knew what the way to get out of that whole entire thought process was. The self-help books that are behind this camera are the answer to your question. Everything that you've ever thought that you didn't know how to do, go to those books. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, Magic of Thinking Big. There's so many of these books that just completely change and twist the paradigm in which you live in. And you'll never be able to look at the world the same way after watching and reading these books. watching if you watch the audio version, whatever. Number 2, go to the gym every day. Get ripped, get jacked. It's helped me out a lot. I've been doing this for 4 years. Planet Fitness is awesome. Go to Crunch. LA Fitness if you have it. And Lifetime Fitness is ultimate bliss. Number 3, get in a sauna. It's insane. You walk into a sauna, if you've never been in one, you're going to sweat a lot. But use this as a mental aid station. David Goggins talks about this idea that there are no vacations in life. But the times that you can be a vacationer is when you're sitting in a sauna or you're driving home and you're just sitting with all the cortisol in your body, all the stress and the loose problems, the loose ends that you have going on, the problems that you have no answer to. And they're just kind of like floating around, the plans that you've kind of thought through but not really thought through. You go into the sauna and you just sit there. You're on your phone and you're typing and you're getting work done. But you're also sweating and you're actually being productive while just sitting around. And the thing is like, I have planned out so many business ideas in a sauna. Sounds stupid. And I've also had thousands of people watch me be in a sauna because of social media, unfortunately. It's an incredible experience. And if you have anything better than that, I would say it's a steam room, a real steam room, not like the YMCA steam room, but Lifetime Fitness steam room, where there's essential oils and it's hot as hell. You can't see anything. You're just sitting there soaking it all in. And you walk out and you're like, I am a different person. Number 4, get an official mentor. My first mentor was when I was 17. His name's Mike Ashabi. I paid him thousands of dollars to teach me how to start an LLC, write an ebook, write an ad, do a landing page, set up Stripe, get a business bank account, EAN, operating agreement, articles. That was basically what I paid for. And it really helped solidify the foundation of business, just wholeheartedly. Without that mentor in my life, I would not know how to do those things as fast as I knew how to do them. And it also sounds cool. I have a business coach, right? Like that is a pretty cool concept. If I were to ask you what you need these coaches for, you have health, wealth, love, and happiness are the categories of life. And I would try to find a coach for all of them. You don't have to pay for them, but if you have an official agreement with this person, I am going to be your official mentee, you're going to be my official mentor. It doesn't have to be a paid thing, but you can at least say, like, we're going to meet once a week, every single month, and that's going to have to be the relationship that we have. And it's going to be talking about these topics, and you're going to help me get to this result. And it doesn't matter if you pay him or not, but it's at least an official relationship. Like I have a lot of these relationships in my life, and we know where we stand and where the boundaries are and what we talk about and what we don't talk about. That whole thing, it matters. So health, get a fitness coach. Wealth, get a business coach. Love, get a relationship coach. And happiness, get a fucking therapist. I hate therapy. Don't do that. Number 5, travel the United States. When I started the first client, I had a bunch of success with it. A lot of students really loved the program. They got a lot of clients really fast. And I was like, dude, this is sick. I started something. People are having success. They're changing their lives. They're making thousands of dollars. What should we do to celebrate? I had 3 students fly to Florida with me to stay for 2 weeks. And then my top student of all, the entire first client program so far to date, flew him to my house, and we traveled all the way across the country, from the west coast of Florida to the Grand Canyon and back. Such an amazing experience. You'll meet people, you'll sleep in cars, you'll find random hotels, you'll eat the best food of your life, you will be able to see parts of the country that you've never been able to see without doing this trip. You'll be stressed out, you'll be laughing, you'll probably be fucking someone somewhere if you're single. And I don't mean that sexually. Listen, if you're under 18 years old, disregard what I just said. Cut it out of the video. Number 6, caffeine is a magic pill. I love caffeine more than I basically love anybody on this planet, because it fuels productivity. And the most productive things I've ever done in my life have been under the influence of caffeine. I've had the best deep work sessions, the most concentrated, focused hours when I'm juiced up on caffeine. I talk straight, I talk firm, I have conviction, I'm inspired, I have all the creativity that a human being could offer. I have 3 options for caffeine: coffee, pre-workout, and energy drinks. My favorite is energy drinks. My favorite energy drink is Ghost. And now I'm starting to get into Alani. I like Alani a lot, but I think Ghost is the best. Number 7, make content every day. You have written content, you have audio content, you have visual content, and then you have other types of content. Like, I don't know what we really have. Don't do this because you're trying to teach somebody something. Do this to document your journey. If you're doing a business thing, which I assume you are because that's the reason you're watching this channel, just document things. Don't try to teach anybody anything. I fell into that rabbit hole and started teaching people how to get ripped and fix their relationships and get married. And I'm 17 years old and I've never lived a single day in my life. It doesn't work. People don't receive the information correctly. And if you frame it incorrectly in the beginning, people are just going to be pushed off. They're going to be turned off. They're not going to want to listen to you. Just document your journey. What are the things that you've learned? What are the things that you've utilized? What are the processes and the systems that you have built in your life to get to where you are? And how can other people follow that roadmap indirectly because of the things that you've done? Instead of here's how to, here's how I've. Number 8, publish one book. I published 4 to Amazon. And I don't think you needed to do that many because it's kind of extensive. But if you do one, it's more than nothing. Just take an idea, a big story that you have in your brain. I have this idea that every human being has an Oscar-winning story in their brain, in their life. They've experienced something that's worthy of an Oscar. And I truly believe that. And if you get onto a laptop, open a Google Doc, and just start typing, you'll be surprised how much you can type. If you've never done it, start doing 1,000 words a day. And before you know it, you'll have a 40,000 word page book. 40,000 page word book, 120,000 words. I've published 4 books. My best book ever is talking about the idea of associations. That if you spend time around the wrong people, you will literally destroy your own life. And if you spend time around the right people, you will have more success than you could ever imagine. Number 9, Facebook groups are the key. Guys, if you ever want to do anything, whether it is get an apartment, get a girlfriend, get a friend, find a place to travel to, find a traveling buddy, make some money, get a client, it's all in a Facebook group. I started one accidentally and got 8,000 members in it. It's all about social media marketing. That was all it was surrounded by. And it was getting your first client. And that led me to start the first client. And that first client business, because of that Facebook group, did $70,000 online. And that was only because of Facebook. And I post on Facebook every day. People say it's an outdated platform. It's saturated. Unfortunately, it's just because you don't have the skills to find the right people in these groups that have the information that you need. Getting the information from the people who have it to the people who need it. Thanks, Brad, for that one. That was kind of an awesome idea. Number 10, envy is good. You hear this quote that says, comparison is the thief of joy. But people don't realize that comparison, without it, you wouldn't be able to compare yourself to people who are ahead of you or behind you. It is a thermostat, a barometer for you and your success. If there's somebody out there making $100,000 a month and you're making $6,000 a month, there is $94,000 a month of ignorance debt that you have accumulated because you don't have the same knowledge. You weren't taking the same action that person is taking. So in order to figure out how to do it, you got to go be envious of the person who has it. Your human body has a great way of sensing emotion. We just sense emotion. We get sad, we get angry, we get happy. It's all just thrown out because of the synapses and the reactions we get to in our environment. Something happens, we react to it. Envy is a natural reaction. If you start to learn from self-help that you should shut down your emotions and be a freaking rock and just stare at the wall and not be able to take anything in, you're ignoring your body's a bit, I wouldn't say advanced ability to start receiving senses, but ability to receive senses onto what's happening. It's reading data in the environment and making accurate decisions. And I know you know what envy feels like when you see somebody who has something you don't want and you're like, ugh, I want it. Listen to your body. Follow the intuition. And get closer to it. Get curious about it. It's not a bad thing. 11, get abs. I've had abs since I was 11. I don't know what else to tell you. Without them, I wouldn't be as confident as I am today. I know that I wouldn't be able to get as much as I got today. And I know with them, it just makes me feel better. I can move faster. I can get through life easier. People look up to me because I am strong and I have a solid body. It doesn't take as much work as you think. You just need to get in the gym and do strength training and eat a good diet. And if you can do those 2 things long enough, you're good. It's set for life. Abs are awesome. Get them. 12, friends are forever. You hear this quote in self-help that says you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around. But what people don't realize is that the average of the 5 people you spend the most time around is such a quote that would destroy your ability to be friends with anybody if you take it incorrectly. When I heard this quote, I was like, okay, I need to be hyper aware. If you're not adding value to me, if you're not qualified, if you're not welcome into my environment, I haven't vetted you, I'm going to get rid of you. And so over the last 3 years, I've been through this process of heavy destruction, destroying all the relationships and burning the bridges of the people in my life that I didn't think were qualified. And that hurts because at the end of the day, you're going to sit alone, you're going to realize I have nobody, completely nobody. I'm by myself sitting here, and friends that really are around, even if they have no purpose in your life, even if the only thing you guys do together is sit, talk about drama and gossip, and that's it. It's okay. It's okay. There's no reason that you should or shouldn't have to do anything in life. And that is something that I severely wish I knew early on, because there's people that have come and gone in my life that should be there today. But I didn't let them because I didn't think that they were good associations and I didn't think they were meeting the standard. Number 13, your family knows you. In the beginning of business, you will make the executive decision not to tell people because business is difficult. It's different. There's a lot of risk involved. And you exiting high school, starting a business is one of the paths that people don't choose often. And when you choose it, the success rate is very low, especially if you don't know how to make money, you don't know what you're doing, and your family, who has raised you and gotten you to this point in your life, doesn't want to see you fall and burn. So they're going to try to protect you. They might get angry with you. They might yell at you. They might say that it's the stupidest idea that they've ever heard of, and you have to listen to them. And then you have to move on because you're listening to them. Realize that if you start posting content, you get a little cocky, you start becoming this person that the world doesn't want you to be, your family knows your true self. Listen to them. Number 14, partying is okay. Along the side with the whole idea of drinking and being friends with people, it's hand in hand. Associations like you shouldn't be friends with people who drink, smoke, or do any of that stuff because they're not correct. But then you realize you go to college and then there's people who are successful that drink and party like a complete degenerate. There are people who are making hundreds of millions of dollars and they're complete degenerates. And I'm not saying that that's where you need to be in life. I'm not endorsing any type of alcohol. I don't think that you guys should drink or shouldn't drink. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, I used to get very angry with myself because I would be at a party. I'd get angry with myself because I drank a drop of alcohol. I'd get angry with myself because I was around people who did this. And what ended up happening is there was a massive amount of resentment because I also enjoyed it. I enjoyed the activity. I did it. I got a good outcome. And I'm like, guys, I love it. I hate my life. What is going on? And I started building up resentment. Don't do this. Realize that you can do everything in life in moderation. If somebody came along and shot you in the head today and you died, and you're like, all right, that was it. Would you rather have partied and had the life experience or sat in your room reading a book? Because either way, both of you guys are going to die. And I much rather would be able to let loose and party with friends and have a good time and enjoy life and not let it destroy my life, but also be able to experience certain stuff and not have it interfere with the progress that I'm making. 15, guys, drop out of college. Drop out. Just get rid of it. You don't need to be in college. I've done it 3 times. I've been at 3 different colleges. I've dropped out of all of them. Every time I go there, I realize that the outcome that I'm seeking in life is not because of me getting a degree and going to college. There's a linear relationship between you as an employee and the paycheck that you're making. You clock in, you work an hour, and you get $20. You work an hour, you get $20. It's $20 per hour. That per is a linear relationship. The only possible way to make more money in that situation is to A, work longer hours, which you're capped out at 24 hours, or B, charge more per hour that you're working, which again is super capped because the employer, the guy owning the company and employing you to do your thing, realizes that the market only will pay a certain amount for the job that you got hired for. So at a certain point, you're absolutely capped at how much you can make. There's a ceiling. You can't pass that ceiling. With performance-based earning, you don't need college at all. Sales, real estate, insurance, owning your own company. You don't need to go to college for any of that stuff. There's skills that you could acquire at college, like networking. I would absolutely agree. But I've been to college 3 times, and all the money that I've ever made in business and in life has not come because I've been at college. It might be proximity to businesses near the college that I go to might be the reason that I'm making money, but it's not the college that allows me to make the money. I think because of college, I made maybe $400. And that's because I acted in movies. I was in a Hulu movie, I was in a Lifetime movie, and I did some modeling for 19 Crimes Wine, the wine brand. I don't know if I'm legally allowed to say that, but I've done it. And I made about $400 for all of it. It's pretty cool. Number 16, try everything once. Just don't try crack. Don't ever do that. I've never done it, ever. And I never will. There's no coming back from something like that. 17, alone does not equal loneliness. You can be alone, and you should be alone. Most of your life, you will be alone. In transition periods, you will always be alone. You will be alone with yourself, transitioning into the next phase of your life. You'll be in a relationship, you'll be going all happy and going, and then the girl will leave you, and now you're alone again. You'll be with the best friend moves on to find a girl, and now you're alone again. You're with a girl and a guy, and then both of them leave you, and then you're alone again. You get the point. You're going to spend a lot of time with yourself, being alone. Understand it doesn't equal loneliness. Loneliness could be you in the middle of a crowd of 1 million people, and you feel lonely. There's 2 different thoughts. 18, wake up every day at 5 a.m. if you can. If you can't, don't sweat it. Do it tomorrow. I used to do 5 a.m. every day at 17 years old. 18, I went to college, and I basically couldn't get out of bed because I was exhausted because of projects and homework, and I started putting caffeine into my system. My body didn't react well to it. I started waking up at 11, 12, 1. I moved to Florida, and I still did the same thing because Florida, dude, is a different animal. I couldn't get out of bed to save my life. I'd wake up and it'd be sunny and I'd be like sleeping and I'd be like, I'm on vacation. But I'm not, ever. 5 a.m. triggers your brain to say, we are awake earlier than everybody else. We are awake faster than everybody else. And we are doing more stuff than everybody else is doing, simply for the fact that we're awake and they aren't. And that's amazing. It's a great feeling. 19, make your own money. I have been independent income producing for a year straight. A little bit more than a year, but I've had a job in between the two periods in which I had income coming in online. It's the best feeling ever. You waking up, you making $300. You going to school or going to your job or doing whatever it is not the move to use at all, ever. I don't believe that you should be at a job. I think that the linear return that you get back from the money and time that you're spending at a job or at a college is not worth it. Quit it. I would much rather make $0, and I've done this. I've actually done this. I told my dad when I was 17, I much rather would spend 3 years and make nothing, and then one day I just wake up and make 10K in a day than ever work a freaking job. Sure enough, 3 years later, after doing all that work, I made $10,000 in one day. That's another story for another day. Subscribe to the channel if you want to hear about it. But the truth is, the exponential performance-based ability to make money alone from everything else is so much better. It's so much more rewarding. It's literally you going out and hunting and killing things, and then you being able to fulfill on your promises, and then people love you, and then you have a great relationship with the universe and the world and the business. It's awesome. Do it. And if you want to know what business to start, I made a video right there showing you exactly step by step how to do it so you don't fail. Number 20, Florida is overrun. I've lived in Florida and I love it. Absolutely love it. It's HOAs, highways, commercial buildings everywhere. There's beaches, there's beach towns. Everyone's paying way too much money for absolutely no reason, and there's way too many old people. And that's why I love Florida. 21, find God. There's so much that I could say about this, but where I am in life, being 21, everything I've achieved, I didn't do it myself. I didn't do any of it myself. God came into my life and allowed it to happen. And for the longest time, I couldn't publicly speak about it because I felt shame. I felt shame that I could say that God is responsible for my successes. I would hide it in a corner and say, it's okay, God. It's just you and me. It's you and me forever, buddy. But I realize now that there's no chance that I'll ever be able to get anywhere without God. And so if there's somebody out there that is struggling, that isn't being in the spot that they want to be in, or isn't the person they want to be, open a conversation and a dialogue with your Lord. I'm not saying go to church. I'm not saying go on a mission trip. I'm not even saying pick up a Bible. I'm just saying there's a creator out there, and that's the reason that you're here today. That's the reason that you've been able to do everything you've ever been able to do. Bring him into your life somehow. Have a conversation. God is good, and I'm happy that you guys listened to my 21 lessons that I learned at 21. I will see you all in the next episode. Peace out.